In 1992, one man made over $1 billion in a single day, not by building a company, not by inventing technology, but by betting against an entire country. His name was George Soros, and the trade he executed would become one of the most legendary moments in financial history. During the early 1990s, Britain faced a serious economic problem, but most people couldn't see it yet. Inflation was rising, economic growth was slowing down, and the British pound was under pressure. At the time, the United Kingdom was part of a European currency system designed to stabilize exchange rates between countries. To maintain stability, Britain had to keep the value of the pound within a strict range. That meant the British government constantly intervened to defend its currency. And for a while, it worked, at least on the surface. But beneath the headlines, the economy was weakening. Interest rates were painfully high. Businesses struggled, unemployment increased, and many investors quietly believed the pound was massively overvalued, including one man, George Soros. Unlike ordinary investors, Soros didn't think like the crowd. He searched for weakness, contradictions, moments where governments fought against economic reality. And when Soros studied Britain's financial system, he believed something important. The government could not continue defending the pound forever, because eventually, the market would overpower them. At first, very few people took this idea seriously. The British government publicly insisted the currency remained stable. Officials projected confidence, but Soros believed confidence alone could not change reality. So quietly, he began building one of the largest trades of his life. He borrowed enormous amounts of British pounds, billions, then immediately sold them in exchange for other currencies. This strategy meant one thing. If the pound collapsed, Soros would make a fortune, but if the British government successfully defended the currency, he could lose billions. It was an enormous risk, and the scale of the trade shocked even professional investors. But Soros understood something most people ignored. Markets are driven by psychology, and confidence can disappear faster than governments expect. As pressure on the pound increased, panic slowly spread through financial markets. Investors around the world started questioning Britain's economy. Many began selling the pound. And suddenly, the British government faced a crisis. To stop the collapse, officials fought back aggressively. They raised interest rates, spent billions buying pounds from the market, and publicly promised they would protect the currency at all costs. But the more they fought, the weaker the situation became, because financial markets sensed fear. And once fear enters markets, confidence starts breaking apart. George Soros watched carefully, and instead of backing down, he increased his position even further. Billions more. The pressure became unbearable. Then, finally, everything collapsed. On September 16, 1992, a day now remembered as Black Wednesday, Britain officially withdrew from the European exchange rate mechanism. The government could no longer defend the pound. The currency crashed, and George Soros won. In a single day, his fund reportedly earned over $1 billion. It became one of the most famous trades in history, and from that moment forward, George Soros became known as the man who broke the Bank of England. But the story was never just about money. It was about understanding how markets truly work. Because markets do not care about political speeches, they do not care about public confidence, and they certainly do not care about pride. Markets respond to reality. And Soros understood this better than almost anyone. He believed financial systems become dangerous when governments try to resist economic truth, because eventually, reality always wins. The trade also revealed something deeper about human psychology. Most people feel safe following the crowd, especially during moments of uncertainty. But legendary investors often succeed because they think independently. They question assumptions, they search for hidden weaknesses, and they remain calm while others panic. George Soros was willing to stand against an entire government because he trusted his analysis more than public opinion. That level of conviction is extremely rare and extremely uncomfortable, because before legendary trades become successful, they usually look insane. Even today, the story of Black Wednesday remains one of the greatest examples of market psychology ever seen. A reminder that financial markets are not controlled by emotions, but they are deeply influenced by them. Fear, confidence, panic, greed. These forces move markets every single day, and the investors who understand them often gain enormous power. George Soros did not defeat Britain because he was lucky. He won because he recognized a truth the market could no longer ignore. And once confidence disappeared, the entire system collapsed faster than anyone expected.